Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing one of the most highly requested videos I've gotten. Even before I started posting vlogs and stuff, people were asking me to post a video of my makeup routine. So today we're going to be doing a full makeup routine. This is what I look like. First and foremost, I always make sure that I have done my skincare. If my skin is like feeling particularly oily, I will skip on the moisturizer. I know that sounds crazy, but it really just depends on your skin type. This is gonna have to be not cute. So I'm just sorry in advance because I don't wear any primer or foundation. I'm gonna start with some chapstick. I'm using the Vanilla Bean Burt's Bees. And then the first thing that I always do is make sure my eyebrows are cut how I like them. I forgot what these are called, but this is what I use. And I just make sure that they're not going too far up because I like to do my eyebrows not super thin, but not thick either. My left eyebrow grows way quicker and longer than my right one. Not really sure why. Sometimes I do my eyebrow makeup first. Sometimes I put on a little bit of concealer. It really just depends. But I feel like typically I start with putting on concealer around my eyes. I know that you're supposed to get your beauty blender wet. I usually run it under the sink and then just squeeze out the excess water. All right, so I start with this NYX concealer serum. It's a bit moisturizing. I kind of just put it on my hand. Just one little squirt like that, dab it out. Like, see, this is how much is left already. Like, I really barely use any of this. I'll kind of just go around my eyes. Depending on the day, or if my skin is particularly red, like sometimes I get redness down here, I might dab a little bit of concealer right there. Today's a day that I wouldn't do that. I'm not really experiencing that right now, but around my eyes get really dark, probably permanently stained from years of cheap liquid eyeliner. A little bit really does go a long way. With the extra, I just like take the side and kind of just brush it off. All right, next I go in on my eyebrows. I use this Maybelline Express Brow pencil, and it's really unfortunate because I feel like the first time I use it, like when I crack open a new one of these, the first time I use it, it's so tiny and pristine and accurate. And then after that, it gets a lot thicker. I like to start on the bottom because I often have this problem where my left eyebrow is up a lot higher than my right eyebrow, which I know isn't true. I know it's just how I'm doing my makeup, so I kind of like to start on the bottom. But yeah, my base is essentially just skincare and then some concealer. I do put on a little bit of blush, but I do that after, not even for any particular reason. I start in the center and the bottom before I do the rest. See what I mean? I feel like I'm already starting to have the issue where one of my eyebrows is higher up than the other. See, I feel like this one's bigger. No, something's already wrong. Wait. Now this is where the real magic happens, is the eyeliner. So first I do the wing and then I add like the little, you'll see. I start from down here. Where you start your eyeliner will change depending on your eye shape. So this is just how I do it. So yeah, I do the bottom first and then I bring it up on the top. And then I notice I really don't like to have eyeliner like on my eyelid. I like to have it more on the bottom than I do on the top. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm using this Maybelline Master Precise liquid eyeliner, but honestly, any liquid eyeliner works. I tend to like these kinds of brushes, but I also like the e.l.f., which is what I use for the bottom, and this is like $3 at Target. Something I forgot to do, and I don't do it every day because sometimes I just forget or I'm not feeling it, but I like to put a cool toned sparkly eyeshadow on the top of my eyelid. I'm using this ColourPop palette, all amethyst, and I'm using the shade Brilliant. I used to have this, I'll have to find it when I'm editing, but I'll put it right here, but I have this other eyeshadow palette that is my absolute favorite that I've been using for so many years, but it recently broke, so I have to order a new one. But seriously, every single shade on this palette is mwah, chef's kiss. And I don't use a brush, I literally just use my finger and I just put it on my eyelid. I really like purples and pinks. If I'm using a pink, I really don't want the tone to be too warm. I really prefer cool tones for myself. I also just like cooler neutral tones in general, but I do just prefer cool tones on myself as well. This is why I normally put the eyeshadow on before I do the eyeliner, because it'll start to cover some spots of the eyeliner and do that. And then I usually have to go over it again. I usually have to go over my eyeliner anyways with a thicker one like this e.l.f. one, because a lot of the eyeliners I use end up going on really patchy. Then I can kind of go back over and clean it all up with this. This is my tried and true, by the way. Like, I've been using this e.l.f. eyeliner since middle school, and back in the day when I used it when I was in middle school and I was a kid, it was literally $1 at Target. I mean, now it's only $3, so it hasn't gone up that much, but it's crazy how well this works. Normally, I do my makeup in my bedroom, but it's really dark in there right now, and the lighting is much better in my living room, so. Okay, now I can show you where the magic happens. So basically, I start in the center on each of my eyes, right, like, if you're looking straight on, it'll be like right in the middle of where your iris would be. The key here, there's two keys here. The first key is to not go over, you know how you have that extra like fold of your eyelid, like on the top and the bottom. This, do not cross that area. So that's the first key. The second key is each one you do gets thicker and longer, but still don't cross this area. Like, instead of going down, really focus on going outward and upward, if that makes sense. I always start with the middle and then I'll do the other side. And this I have to be really careful when doing, because I do not want to do this twice. Like, once this part is on, it's on, and I do not redo it. And for this last one, you want this one to be the biggest, but you want to make sure it doesn't go higher up or farther out than your original wing. And then go in with the blush. I'm using this Patrick Ta in the shade She's a Doll. I literally don't use the cream one at all. I don't even think I've ever touched that, but I just use a little bit of this powder one because this brush retains so much pigment. It just like keeps the color in there for a really long time. So pinks and purples and cool tones are my favorite colors, so I feel like I have a pretty like pink and purple-y colorful kind of makeup look, which makes sense because I love purple so much. I like to stay above my cheekbones when I'm applying like the majority of my blush. And then sometimes if I go too far this way, like close to my nose, I don't like to have a ton of blush on that part, so I'll just like go back over a little bit with the blender, which usually has like some leftover concealer on it. This is like a kind of an old makeup trend, but I still do it to this day, is putting like a little on the tip of my nose. I love it. I think it looks so cute. And then I use this NYX Jumbo face stick. I think these have different shades. I don't know what the shade is called, but it's white basically. It's like sparkly white. And I take this little Wet n Wild brush, and this is what I use for my nose. I like it to be not quite the tip. I always like to have it underneath where my nose rings are, and I kind of round it a little bit, like sort of. And then all I do for my lips is chapstick, and then I fill in my Cupid's bow. You could really use any color for this that's close to your lips. I'm using this Mario lip liner, and I barely just put a little bit. yeah, I just like to round it out. And that is all I do. And it's so nice because I don't have to worry about lipstick or lip gloss when I'm eating or anything like that. And then last step is eyelashes. I will curl my eyelashes. Whether or not I put on eyelashes really just depends on the day. I'm not really feeling it right now. Any drugstore mascara works too. Like, I pretty much just put whatever mascara on, and if I feel like I want to do more that day, or like I'm gonna make Sonic Girl content, or maybe I'm gonna stream on Twitch or do like an OF stream, I'll definitely wear eyelashes for that, and sometimes even colored contacts or like black contacts. This is kind of just like my everyday look. Honestly, most of the time, I don't always do my eyeliner this way. If I'm feeling lazy, I'll just do like a normal wing. If I do this style of eyeliner, I will not put any mascara on the bottom lashes that day. But if I do, I won't put any mascara on the bottom lashes that day. But if I don't do that, then I will put mascara on my bottom lashes. So yeah, that is the finished look. This is a video I've been wanting to film for a while, so I'm really glad I finally did it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that you could take something from it. And if you end up recreating this makeup look, please tag me. I would love to see it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!